Yeah, before we start, we just have to adjust this hair real quick. Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Uju. How are you all doing? I hope you are doing great. I hope you are doing amazing. Thank you so much for always coming by. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate. Okay, so it's a story time today. I would like to share a quick story on how my cousin's sister survived placenta abruption. Alright guys, so if you don't know what is placenta abruption is a pregnancy complication whereby the placenta detaches itself from the uterus, okay, thereby supplying little or no oxygen to the baby. Like there's no oxygen, there's no nutrient to the baby. In most cases, the parties might lose their life. It's usually rare for both parties to survive this severe pregnancy complication. Okay, placenta abruption also leads to excessively bleeding in pregnancy. Like it's that serious, guys. So I would like to share my story with you guys. Please, if you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you've not. Let's just jump to the story, guys. I have this sweet cousin, like very sweet cousin of mine. Yeah, we look alike. Like there's this striking resemblance. Like people think we are twins. Okay, she's from my maternal side. She got married to her sweetheart, to her husband, December 2019, and then she did both her traditional marriage and white wedding, and she moved in with her husband January, okay, and she became pregnant. I think she became pregnant that same month, okay. Luckily for us, we stay in the same area in Lagos. Yeah, so we're always there for each other. We look out for each other, we visit each other, and so on. Summer, I'm filming, okay, later you can come back, okay. So she became pregnant shortly after that and had a stress-free pregnancy. She was able to still, cope with her work and her house chores, and she was able to just move on with her life perfectly. She had no issue, she had no complication at all. Okay, so fast forward to October 6th, 2020. My phone rang as about 6 a.m. in the morning. It was her. She said she thinks she's in labor. So I'm like, what do you mean by that? She said her stomach has been hard, like stiff sort of, for like 2 days now. She's feeling so uncomfortable and she needs to go to the hospital. As that time, she registered in a private and government hospital. The private hospital is within this area, while the government hospital is like 35 to 40 minutes drive from where we stay. So I'm like, okay, it's fine. Maybe you should just go to the hospital and all that. So we ended the call. I decided to get up and face the business of the day. Like I had to dress my son up for school, dropped him off, came back, took my own bath, dressed up, and then went for a fashion school. At that time I was in a fashion school, so I went for my fashion school. And at the same time, I kept in touch with her, okay? So she called me after a while and said, yeah, that she went to use the restroom and she saw her show, which is called Mucus Plug or something. Yeah, Mucus Plug. So I was like, it's fine. I guess it's the real thing now, the labor now. So she went. She told me, okay, that she's going to, get dressed and then go to the government hospital. Since she has seen her show, she's going to pack up her baby bags and all that and then head over to government hospital because that is the one she preferred, okay. So I also went about my day and all that. She called me after a while and said that she the doctor has checked her, that she's 2 cm dilated, that she'll be going to work, okay, since she's not feeling any pain sort of. She'll be going to work, and although she was told in the hospital that if she feels any kind of way, she'll come back. So I'm like, fine, everything is working perfectly, okay. So after a while, she still called back and said she's bleeding. I'm like, hey, what is going on? Like, what do you mean by that you're bleeding? She said immediately they were about leaving the hospital that she noticed she felt this gush, coming down through her legs. She checked, it was blood, and ever since then she has been bleeding excessively. That she's with the doctor. As of the time she called me, she said she's with the doctor. They're checking her and all that. They're trying to stop her from bleeding. Okay, so it was not like I became scared. I was worried for her and all that. So at the time, I kept on calling. Sometimes she would pick, sometimes she wouldn't be able to pick and all that. So after a while, I called her. I got her on phone. She said, yes, that she's still bleeding. Like, she's still bleeding seriously. So I could not take it anymore. I had to, rush to the hospital. I came down because the fashion school is an upstairs. So I came down, entered bike, and went straight to the hospital. So when I got there, I called her. She wasn't picking. I had to call the husband. The husband, directed me to where they were. I climbed up there, and it's a general ward. So when I got there, I noticed that the man was shaking. He was really scared, and at the same time signing something. So when I asked him what he was doing, he said he's signing a consent form for them to carry out an emergency CS on her. Okay. So at the same time, he was doing that in front of a matron. So I noticed that. So I asked her, where's my cousin sister? He said that she's there. So he pointed at a certain place. So when I looked, I noticed that there were so many women there. I think some of them were in labor, some were screaming, some were just calm. Then she was the only person covered with something, like I don't know what it's called. Please, doctors in here, if you are listening to me, can you drop the name of that in the comment section for me? Like, I don't know what that thing is called. It's used to cover, if you don't want to see, maybe if the person is getting a special attention or something. I don't just know what it's called medically, okay? So they got her covered. So the husband was like, I now asked the husband, why is she, covered? Why is she the only one covered like that? So the man said, I need to see her, that she's literally in her pool of blood. God, I screamed there. I started crying. So the matron, the lady that was sitting with the husband, now asked me to leave. She was like, madam, I think you have to leave. You are causing panic already, that I should just leave, since the husband is here, that he would just probably carry me along or anything. Okay. So yes, the man was like, that he thinks I should go, that he's going to carry me along. If there's anything, he's going to call me. And as at that time, it was already time for me to pick up my son from school as well. It was past 12:30 already, which is their closing time. So what I did was, I said, okay, I still entered bike back to where I parked to, so I can go and pick him up from school. I was crying all through. I was so scared. Bleeding is not what you joke with at all, not to talk of in pregnancy. So I went and then, picked my son from school. On our way back, my phone rang. It was the husband. So he told me that yes, that my cousin has put to bed a bouncing baby girl. So I asked him, how was my cousin and all that. He said that they are doing so well. Yeah, that my cousin is still asleep, but the baby has been crying and all that. Like, I could not believe my ears. I was so happy and thankful to God. So I waited for my husband to come back from work that evening. Then I went back to the hospital to spend time with her. I slept in the hospital for like 3 days. So it was just like to and fro for me. I'll get back to the house, I'll go back to the hospital and all that before her mother was able to join us. So when I got to the hospital, my sister was still knocked out, but it just took her till midnight for her to regain consciousness. So when she saw me, she was so happy and thankful. And God, I could not control the joy I felt like. And this is what I wish for every pregnant woman listening to me. Like I said, this story is not to scare anybody, especially if you're pregnant watching this, but to encourage you to look out for certain signs. There are signs you don't just neglect in pregnancy, no matter how little. Please always speak with your doctor. Talk to him. Always make sure that you are being attended to well, okay? And I also advise you use a good hospital. If you are pregnant, forget all these quack hospitals, because had it been my cousin sister went to quack hospital, I don't know what would have been her story. Like, I don't know what would have been the story. Okay, so always register in a good hospital, okay? Because at the time she was even fixed on an oxygen, she took more than 5 pints of blood. Yeah, she took more than 5 pints of blood. She was on oxygen at the time. So imagine if it was a hospital that doesn't have all these things or doesn't have professionals, what would have been the case? So please, these are things I'm advising you. If you are pregnant, always be on the lookout, okay? Pray for you. You shall carry your bundle of joy. Complication is not your portion. You will deliver like the women of the Hebrew. On that day, the angels shall surround you and you have a stress-free delivery. In Jesus' mighty name I have prayed. Amen. Thank you so much once again for listening to me, for watching my video. Please join this amazing family. If you've not subscribed to my channel, what are you doing? Please subscribe to my channel. Turn on your notification bell to get notified anytime I make an upload. I will see you soon in my next video. Bye guys.